Arguments being heard today as some fight the release of the 911 recordings from the Sandy Hook shooting. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Keith Coombs. We begin in New Britain today, where a Connecticut prosecutor is trying to block the release of those 911 recordings from the Sandy Hook tragedy. For the very latest on that battle that's currently being fought out in court this midday, let's go live to News 8 Chief Political Correspondent Mark Davis, who is live in New Britain. Mark?
Good afternoon, Keith. Good afternoon, everyone, from a rather windswept New Britain Superior Court, where Superior Court Judge Elliot Prescott is hearing this appeal. Remember, the Freedom of Information Commission ruled that those 911 recordings from the day at Sandy Hook should be released. They made that ruling last month. But the state's attorney in the Danbury district, which covers Newtown, Stephen Zadensky, is appealing that ruling. And he's got several arguments that he's using before the judge and that he used before the Freedom of Information Commission. His number one argument is that this is evidence in a child abuse case and that state law forbids the release of information and anything regarding child abuse. But the argument for the Associated Press, representing the news media, is that that's not really the case here. They didn't use that in the Cheshire home invasion case, where, of course, children were also involved. But the state's attorney also says that this will also cause intimidation to some of the people whose voices are on these recordings, has been experienced by a neighbor down the street from the school who was seen on national television and who has received intimidation and threats from people all around the country. Also, that this is evidence in a prospective law enforcement action. He says that's different from a prosecution, that the report still isn't out. And also he made the argument that if these are released, people might be afraid in the future to use 911. And in fact, the town attorney for the town of Newtown said that the town has received calls from people in town concerned about hearing their voices on the news. But the judge accepted that was objected to by the lawyers and wasn't really part of the evidence. The lawyer for the Associated Press, seeking the release of these recordings, says that the Sandy Hook incident, of course, was very, very terrible, but the release of 911 recordings is done routinely around the country, almost every week of the year. We'll have more on this coming up tonight, starting at 5, live at New Britain Superior Court. Mark Davis, News 8.